Hey there, BookTube. Noah. Everyone who reads it must converse is the channel. Thanks for coming back by. Nice to see everybody. And happy, Thanksgiving yesterday, right? I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving that celebrates and all that kind of thing. And it was definitely awesome for me and my family. We got out and saw a lot of family. Um, I haven't seen my parents as far as, hanging out for any good length of time and doing anything. I haven't hung out with them in quite a long time, maybe close to a year. It might have been, last holiday season that we were even uh, got together, like really to hang out, and all that kind of thing. Hey, Paulie, nice to see you, brother. Hey, Alexa, nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. Happy Friday, for sure. So it was just a lot of family stuff, a lot of hanging out, a lot of fun yesterday, a lot of driving for me. But I love, the family hanging out. There's nothing better to me than hanging out with my girls and going out to see my brothers. I have four younger brothers and three daughters, so they just it's a big family no matter what we do, right? Hey Greg, happy Friday. Thanks for coming by for sure. Daniel, nice to see you, Daniel Backer in the house. Hey there, Puff Pets, nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. Yep, I did have a lovely day. Lady Jane Books, thank you for saying so, and happy Friday. I hope you had a lovely day as well. It was really a cool. Hey, Jim reads too slow. If y'all don't know, Jim reads too slow. New booktuber, new channel, and just getting started. So very cool. Thanks for coming by. The Falcon, man, I watched almost, well, I did watch the whole thing this time, your 10 books that changed your life. You got some good books on there, brother. You got some really good books on there. I was trying to remember which one you had called out that I was just like, yes. It was almost like an unexpected, but to me it was completely like in the pocket, but it was something that I didn't expect to be on there. Something that, most people don't kind of put on there. That kind of idea of a for a video or for a list. Hey, Bookworm. Happy Friday. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. Awesome. Awesome. I hope everybody. Yeah. I hope that. Yeah. You live and work with your family. So, the holiday is not family. That's the holiday to go off on, maybe go on a solo trip, I get you. Hey, Alexa. Very cool. Um, for sure, man. It was a cool video. You really can talk very well, Tyler. I like your style. And when you get going, you'll really give some good discussion. I've been reading Infinite Jest. I tell you, it is. Let's see exactly where I'm at. 283. I told Daniel Backer just before I started this. He goes, dude, where are you at in Infinite Jest? I was like, about page 300, but it feels like 1,000 pages. Hey, Christina, nice to see you. Happy Friday, and awesome. Hey, Ineffable, nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. So, this thing is just a, it's so ah, it's oppressive. There's so much detail. There's so much going on. You just hear everything about everybody, their quirks, their fears, what's driving their decision making and all that. And it's like you can't be prepared for Infinite Jest, really. Well, we all can relate to that, Tyler. We can all relate to that feeling. Hey, Fabio, nice to see you, brother. Happy Friday. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate. If not, I hope you still had a good day. So, yeah, Infinite Jest is not fun. It's really not fun. Um, you have to, it's the subject matter as well. That's something, if you get into these big authors, they're doing these big works. It you really get to know the author, even if it's a fiction like Infinite Jest or whatever. David Foster Wallace loved tennis. He loved tennis. He played tennis. He would love to have played professionally. He didn't get there. Um, and it's just this kind of thing where he loves tennis. There is so much tennis in Infinite Jest. It's ridiculous, and it's really, really detailed. The society, the group of young men that are in this tennis program, this very high level Ivy League, tennis program, and their thoughts, their drives. But it's just nothing to me. It's nothing interesting to me. There's a lot of funny uh parts in Infinite Jest, a lot of things to laugh at, but ultimately it's really, really sad. All the characters are very, very sad. They are all obsessive. They are all addicted. They are all just uh, pulled all over the place. Very interconnected. Um, I'm interested, enough to read it. I mean, I'm gonna read it, but it's a work. It's work to read Infinite Jest. It is a work, that's for sure. It's not a enjoyable fun time, you know? Um, I'm just I mean, it feels like I can't believe I'm like 300 pages in. It really does feel like 1,000. I can't wait to start House of Leaves. We're doing that starting in December. The time is coming. Um, that is going to be a great read, and I've read it before, and I've been involved in read-alongs of it before. I I couldn't wait. I can't wait to get into it again because it's so fun to see and be with people when they experience House of Leaf for the first time. Yeah, very cool. All right, Ross Geller, thank you for coming by. Happy Friday. Hope you're doing good. And yeah, I'm just gonna roll with it. It just is what it is. I don't. It's also the subject matter of just this addictive personalities, addiction and obsession, and it's just taken so far. And I get it. I get it. It's just it's just I don't really resonate with it, to tell you the truth. Um I like it, but I really I think I like Foster Wallace shorter works. I like how when he has to really get it out there, when he doesn't have this space to play with. The end notes are so tedious. It's tedious to do what's needing to be done to read the book. There's a lot of things working, you know, to push and pull the enjoyment level of reading the book. It's so weird. It is very unique. And really when it comes down to it, I'm not I'm not judging. I'm not really judging at this point. I don't judge books before I've read them, before I've read the whole thing. I'm not judging Infinite Jest. If somebody said, "What do you think about Infinite Jest?" I'd say, "Well, I've read 300 pages and I don't know what I think about it. I don't know. I'm not going to judge a book until I get it." The only time that I find myself really doing that is when it's overwhelmingly positive. When I'm like, "Holy crap, this book is awesome." And I have to tell somebody, and it was like that with Jerusalem by Alan Moore. It was like that with Foucault's Pendulum as well. Those are amazing books. Infinite Jest, not so much. Not to say that it's not amazing, but just that it's not my kind of book. Like, it doesn't resonate with me personally in the ways that it's going to resonate with other people. If you're an more academic, went to university, know the kinds of people that are the main characters of Infinite Jest and others, then you're going to resonate more with the story. If you're a tennis fan, you're going to resonate more with it. If you're really into it, even deeper than just a fan, a spectator, then you're going to be into it more. that kind of stuff. And it is cool. I will say one of the things that I like about it is nice Alexa is I find it kind of like experiencing a Clockwork Orange because it is this kind of futuristic, but an alternative future. It's kind of weird. It's really weird, actually. That's pretty cool, Alexa. just like, yep, not reading for a while. Gonna take just let everything decompress after that, right? Yeah, right. The actual infinite jest is every person that keeps trying to read it. I mean, it's so over the top oppressive. I'm telling you. Um, I can't wait to see what it's all about because I am going to wait, and withhold judgment until I read it for sure. Um, I can tell you right now that um it is what it is. Like Infinite just wouldn't be what it is if you shaved off 400 pages or something, right? Like it wouldn't be what it is if you did that. So I'm not advocating for that. I wouldn't advocate for something like that because it would change what the thing is, what Infinite Jest actually is. And I'm not trying to do that because I don't know what it is. But I will say that it is oppressive. It's oppressive. Yep, cool. I can't wait. I can't wait to see where it goes and what it comes down to. Yeah, and I think that you can see that kind of thing in Infinite Jest and Ineffable, where what you do that when you do something that you love, but it becomes total work, complete drudgery, nothing, nothing enjoyable in it at all. That's how these kids are in the tennis program. They're all addicts. They're all, the Infinite Jest is so sad. It's really, really, really sad. Um, I might try the audio X lane just to get through it at a pace. I can't seem to get a good pace going with Infinite Jest, and it's structural, I'm sure, because I can read anything. And I mean, when I read Foucault's Pendulum fast like I did, that's when I was like, holy crap, like my reading is on point. I can read pretty fast. Not fast. I don't, go for reading fast, but I do go for, reading at a good pace. I'm not wasting my time here. So, but Infinite Jest is it's taken me such a long time. I've been reading it like 2 weeks now, and I've only read 300 pages. It's crazy. That's crazy stuff. I can read a 700 or 800 page book in 2 weeks if I'm interested and I can just keep rolling with it. That's the thing is you can't keep rolling with Infinite Jest. You stop and you backtrack and you get more a different story, a different or you might be and these footnotes and how they do it, how it's done. It's wild. It's wild. All right, enough on Infinite Jest. Yeah. See, so you're gonna resonate with different stuff, and I think there's something to be said about that for sure. Yep. Do I think the sadness of Infinite Jest gives insight to why Wallace committed suicide? I don't know. I don't know. I think stuff like Good Old Neon might give explicit insight as to why he might have committed suicide because it was a mental fight. The mind itself was constantly, fighting against him, working against him, and to undermine him in that kind of way. The sadness of Infinite Jest is like situational, and the people that you meet are very sad. There's so many addicts. There's so many really just lost individuals depicted in Infinite Jest. So, but and that was many, many years before he committed suicide. He wrote a lot of stuff between Infinite Jest and his end there, you know. So I don't know. I don't know until I get there. Hey, Sean the Book Maniac, happy Friday. Thanks for coming by. For sure. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate it out there. Sean the Book Maniac, if I'm not mistaken, is in Japan. So I don't know how it goes down out there. You might get some you know, different style some very different style Thanksgiving than my, you know, southern you know, Georgia soul food. Because I tell you, it was all gravy and rolls and turkey of and you know, greens and stuff here. That's all it is. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll read the end notes then, you know. But or, you know, we'll see. That's too bad. That's too bad. But you know, just read them. Um, yeah. Yeah, it does. It is like a tennis match flipping back and forth. And it's like it might be a footnote and you read a footnote and then you go back to the main text and you get a half of of a sentence and then another footnote and you're back, you know, and it's like in the middle of a sent or in one sentence you might have three endnotes. There was one time that I remember it being like that. It was you're not going to get bored or tired with Infinite Jest. You're going to get frustrated and and just like, oh, this is ridiculous. Jack I thought would resonate with it a lot. Jack looks like he'd be a tennis player. He's more of a runner, I guess, but definitely you know, ready would might be nice on the tennis court. Very cool. Yeah. Maybe Christina. I don't know myself a person. I don't know myself a personal, you know, what the circumstances were. Nice. Early October. That's right. Early October. That's right. The Canadian Thanksgiving. I remember some posts about that from uh Amy at the Dusty Bookshelf. Maybe Duncan as well said something back in when it was on. So one more, okay. Yeah. See, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Wallace knows exactly what he was doing, exactly why he was doing it with Infinite Jest. Is it effective? Is it worth doing? I don't know. That's the thing. Uh, it's he's doing it, you know, and he's aware that he's doing it. He's doing all this on purpose. The tedium, the frustration, the whole thing. Yeah. Are you, Fabio? Are you in Canada? Are you Canadian? I didn't know that. I don't think I really. I don't think I knew where you were at or where you're located at all, which is weird, you know, because usually that's the kind of thing that I at least know where the person's at that I'm, you know, collaborating with and stuff like that. And we have done a buddy read, and so I should know, you know, kind of where you're at. No Shave November, which is not a big deal for me because I might go 3 weeks without grabbing clippers at all. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a big deal for me, but now it's getting a little unruly. Una and Crypto over at the Codex Cantina and I decided to do a No Shave November, which was just kind of a joke for me. I was like, yeah, I'll do a No Shave November. Who gives a crap, right? I didn't even tell anybody in my regular life, you know, that I was doing it, and they don't even notice because it doesn't matter. I can just nice. Yeah, nice. Very cool, Pavia. I like that. I like your style, man, for sure. Um, I wonder where you're at. I wonder, like, really where you're at. Like the what part of Canada? Toronto, Ontario, or over on Vancouver side, something like that. But no worries. No worries. Purple ducks. See, man, I need to see this Canada action. One of my favorite bands of all time, maybe my favorite band of all time is Rush. Is Rush. I love Rush. So I would, you know, I would love to go up there and see some of the sights, and um I'm sure there's just like, some Rush craze up there. So I have mentioned Jerusalem earlier as one of the most enjoyable things that I've read this year. It was amazing. And so now I'll go into some graphic novels a little bit because I have read most of Calgary. Nice. Very cool. Very cool, Pevia. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it. So I had started reading, and I'm almost done with reading The Hypothetical Lizard. This is crazy stuff. I mean, this is so freaking weird and crazy, and I can tell why it's not popular, but it's good. Okay, it's cool. And Alan Moore is a very psychological, sometimes philosophical writer. You know what I mean? He's not necessarily making claims and all this kind of thing. He's just exploring. And in here, there's a lot of psychological exploration through just the characters and how they're interacting. And it's taken place over a long period of time. This has taken the place over like 20 years of time, but it's not comprehensive. You don't need to know everything about characters or whatever. You just get what you need to know, and then they move on. And what the situation is between actually these two characters, her and him. And what's her name? Psalm. That's her name. She doesn't go by her, birth name. Psalm is kind of our conduit into the narrative. So I'll do some might do some content on this one, might not. I find that I don't do content on graphic novels so much. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of interest in it a lot of times. And this is a really, really strange one. It's really good, but I'd have to come at it from an angle. I wouldn't just do like a normal talk and like review. I'd come at it from a thematic, some kind of angle that Alan Moore is exploring, and then go into it. So we'll wait until I'm finished with it. I'm almost done. It's actually in 5 parts. It says part one, two, three, and four, but part one is double the size of all the other parts. So it's basically like 5 comics long, which you can read it in a day, right? So I read the first 2 parts, and then I went back. Then at like a week later, I went back and read the first 2 parts, and then I read the third part just today. And so the fourth part I might read after we're done with the live. So I might finish it tonight, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's beautifully done. The story is not beautiful. The story is very, very off-putting, and I'll get more into it when I'm talking about it a little bit more or whatever. But how the panels are laid out are beautiful. So you see there's these really crisp panels. They have these really crisp lines, no space, not much space in between, sometimes some space. And there's this block narration all the time. And just really beautiful drawing, even though it's black and gray. It's all black and gray. But the panels start opening up. You see how there's more space now in between panels, and even some here is out of a panel. That kind of thing starts happening. And then it gets to where in between the panels, there are drawings, leaves. Sometimes there's bats. See, there's some weird creature, like some weird swamp creature or something right there. That is like, who is that? What is that? Why is that, on the sitting on the corner of the panel right there? It's cool. And so See, and this panel is like framed like a painting. It seems like they're in, some kind of picturesque thing. But then behind it is leaves and bats and just weird stuff cracks. So you just don't know, but it's really, really beautifully done. It's so enjoyable. Sometimes the pictures are coming out of panels. Sometimes they have something to do with panels, sometimes they don't. It's highly stylized and it's really, really cool. It is not for everybody. That's for sure. Oh my God. I love the Earthsea. I love the Earthsea saga for sure. All right. Let's get into that a bit. So fresh off of New World's November and Jim Reads Too Slow is here. And there's a lot more. Yeah, there you go, Alexa. So I was in a used bookstore and I found some really, really cool stuff. First, just for New World's November, I'll show a book. It is called The New Atlantis and Other Novellas of Science Fiction. I got this because I was looking for Robert Silverberg. That's who, where I was on the shelf, Robert Silverberg, and that's who edited this. But what is in here is three novellas, three short novellas. And it is Gene Wolfe, Silhouette, a story called Silhouette. It is Ursula K. Le Guin, The New Atlantis, where this gets its title from, is the Ursula K. Le Guin story. And then James Tiptree Jr., A Momentary Taste of Being by James Tiptree Jr. So I couldn't pass it up. Gene Wolfe, Ursula K. Le Guin, and Tiptree together, all in three short novellas in a hardcover collection, edited by Silverberg with an introduction. Yes, 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 all day. So I'll check it out. It seems like all these stories. This was put out in 1975. So all these stories were written before 1975. And the Gene Wolfe story, I couldn't find where it was. I wanted to locate that story in the rest of his fiction where it was at, and I couldn't find it. So it actually seems like it's it's a very, very early story from Gene Wolfe. And Ursula K. Le Guin, of course, is probably the strongest story in this collection. Just to make a prediction, I wouldn't doubt if Le Guin is the strongest writer in this collection because she is a very strong writer. And they gave the title to her short story. And then James Tiptree Jr., I don't know what to expect from the short novella that's in here. It's something that I have never, A Momentary Taste of Being, but probably pretty strong since they end the collection up with that. And what a freaking all-star, you know, collection, right? Just a great little find. So I thought, heck yeah, it's time to do it. Hey, Fit to be Read, happy Friday. Hope you're doing good. Um, Happy Friday. Hope your Thanksgiving was cool. If you celebrate, if you don't, then I still hope you had a good day, right? Yeah. Um, yeah. Le Guin and Gene Wolfe and James Tiptree Jr. You can't go wrong there. Can't go wrong. Right when I saw it, I was like, "Yep, that's exactly what to go for." Very, very cool. Yeah, buddy. Nice to see you. I actually was looking through. What's up, Juan? Juan at Plagued by Visions. Happy Friday. Hope you have an awesome Thursday, man. Hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving. If you and your family, kind of celebrate and stuff yourselves. Because I definitely got my share of Thanksgiving uh dinner. And it's not necessarily the eating, that's for sure. It's the family. And me and my girls. we all loaded up and we drove around yesterday to two places, to two different family homes. My brother Zach, who's 4 years younger than me, and then my mother. And we saw everybody, me and my girls. We saw everybody in the family. We had a great time. We hung out all night, all the way from the morning to the night. Yeah, that's right. And and now Zelda, I'm missing her so much. I'm missing Zelda because Zelda, it has worked out, spending the night at my mom's place, because we haven't hung out with my mom for a long time. We hadn't hung out with my parents. They've been, very much quarantined in not just because of COVID, but because of COVID as well, because my father had heart issues and was going into a surgery, not a very scary surgery. It was a ablation, and it's something where they go in through the leg and go up to the heart and do some work. So it worked out really well. It was an easy surgery, but they still were being very careful at this point with um him not getting sick, him not getting anything to complicate it, because the AFib of his heart was already scary enough, and something that they've been going through for months and months and months, maybe a year, maybe something that he's been putting up with for close to a year. So, but that has worked out completely amazingly well. It's been so good. Yeah, that's right. There you go, Juan. I tell you, I'm sure we could throw down. Oh no. Oh no. Yes. Well, mine is better than yours. I mean, it depends on your metric, you know what I mean? If you watched my personality, booktube personality tag that I put out, then you'll see that I'm a 7 on the Enneagram, which is somebody who's really just down for anything. And somebody showing up, like a family member showing up to Thanksgiving dinner and just wiling out, there's a part of me that is just like, yes, let's do this. Like, I want it. I want the craziness. I want fun. I want it to be something that can't be replicated and will never be forgotten. That's what I want, you know. Even if that might be something, undesirable to most. Thank you very much, Juan. So, I was looking through the comics, as I do sometimes. I find really, I mean, you can get comics for 50 cents a lot of places, a buck, and they don't care what they got. A lot of used bookstores, they don't care what they got. They got so many boxes of comics that they just got it sitting out there, and they're like, yeah, take whatever for a buck. So if you're looking for something specific, you can get it. And I found book one of Marvels. This isn't the original Marvels. This is Marvel's annotated, but it has the original Marvels uh book one. This one is on the Human Torch. Yeah, is that right? Salvador. Wow. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, yeah. Well, when you're somewhere else, you got to live how they live. That's for sure. You got to eat how they eat. You got to um dig what they dig. So Alex Ross is the artist that did Marvels. He's the same artist that did Kingdom Come. There's some content on my channel on Kingdom Come. I love Alex Ross. He does these very hyper realistic drawings. This is the Human Torch there, as seen by Alex Ross. And see, this is a drawing. He does these really hyper realistic drawings, and they're full pages. They're like art pieces. All of his stuff is like art. You can have it framed. It's beautiful, cool stuff, right? So what they did with this Marvel series is really, really cool. They take a popular storyline of maybe Spider-Man, the X-Men are in it. Um, they do an X-Men storyline. They take the storyline of the Sentinels that come and destroy the X-Men. Or with Spider-Man, I forget which storyline it is because it's been a long time since I read Marvels. I don't own it. I'm always looking for Marvels in the used bookstore, but I never find it. So when it comes down to it, the storyline, this is Human Torch versus the Submariner. That's the storyline that's going on, right? Yeah, it is. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah. There you go, Jack. That's right. Yeah, it's an amazing series. I love it. So, see, Namor, the Submariner, comes out, and him and the Human Torch have a fight. But see, there's all this other stuff going on. We are in the background. We're with this photographer that is, kind of seeing all this going down. He's a reporter. And so he is we're kind of seeing things from his perspective. Wow, this is going on in the background. See, and Alex Ross does some of these iconic panels, these iconic visuals. The Human Torch there with the Submariner fighting. So in each one, you're going to find some of that iconic visual where you're like, oh wow, that I remember that. I remember that from the original story arc. But um, with 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 Marvel's, there's always a twist. There's a twist in the story from the original story. So there is something new, some other kind of exploration that is done in these. It's not just a rehash or a retelling. And I mean, look how beautiful. I mean, these, the people. Look at this woman. It looks like a photograph. This is the photographer's wife. He gets hurt in the he's too close to the action, right? And then the end, I'll show you. This is no spoiler, you don't know what's going on, but I'll go ahead and give you a big final picture of the Avengers, or the Avengers coming down to like a prison, a gulag maybe, and and stopping a riot or something like that. So that's how it ends. I mean, there's Alex Ross is an unbelievably incredible artist. I love it. I love everything about um his artwork and everything that he's basically done. There is some of the coolest pictures in Marvels that you can ever see. One of them is the Angel. So there's a character called the Angel. It's before he had his wings destroyed and became the Archangel. So it's the Angel like lifting up a baby out of a crowd. And it's a full page, one panel, and it is just freaking beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Um, well, I know that Alex Ross, at least in Marvels, I know that Alex Ross used live models for his for his uh you know prep and for his drawing. I know that he used live models for that. But, you're not gonna do it without seeing the actual human form, right? For sure. Even if I don't know God Country. Is it Alex Ross? If so, then I need to know it. For sure. And then I found, this is so weird, and I got it for a buck. But I got it for a buck because it's kind of busted, and I'm gonna have to repair it if I'm gonna repair it. It's not the Marvels level, but still good. Is it Alex Ross though? Is he the artist? Oh. Oh, it's just good art. Okay. Cool, cool. Very cool, very cool. What's up around the weird? Nice to see you. Happy Friday. Hope that you had a good Thanksgiving, brother. For sure. Um, this is a book tie-in though. This is a graphic novel that was put out. Let me see if I can get the 1986. Make sure. Yep, 1986. Michael Moorcock, Elric saga. I don't know how many books they did. This is a big book. This is heavy. It's not thick, but it's big. You see, it's bigger than the comic. So a regular comic is here, right? So it's a bit bigger. You see, you got like maybe half inch on the side, maybe a full inch and a half on the a half inch on the top, maybe a full inch and a half on the side. So very much oversized, and it is going through the first of the Elric novels, and it's the artwork is awesome. The artwork is completely awesome. Let's see if I can show you some, and why it's so cheap is because it's not in very good condition. The front has been this corner has been creased completely. It's completely smoothed out now, and not creased anymore. I mean, it still has the crease in it though. You can see it in the on the back, that's for sure. But so look at, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in a lot of these panels. I'm gonna try to get to get to a cool kind of bit, but I mean, it's all cool. Look at this stuff. It's really all really cool. And Elric is a really cool uh story. If you've never read any of the Elric saga by Michael Moorcock, I totally recommend it. It's cool as hell and crazy. Yeah, it's the same author as Behold the Man, for sure. He did a lot of fantasy, and and I really dig it. I mean, Elric is cool as hell. Elric is getting a 3-volume reprint next year. I mean, didn't they have awesome editions of the Elric saga already done? Why do they keep, I guess because it sells, you know? I mean, really. I guess it just really it sells. Wow, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, Christina, and you can read it very, very quickly. I mean, I read the Elric saga. They're all like novellas. They're all very small, very short novellas, and they read fast. I mean, Elric is is a seriously action-packed, fast-paced um story. These it's a lot of action. All this is, you know, in the graphic novel here is full on action. There's just panels after panels of action, but there's a lot of full panels of just very highly stylized stuff as well. The glass breaking and the glass shards becoming different panels. It's pretty cool. 1986, you can see what kind of place we're at. That's too bad, Alexa. Alexa says he can't finish the series, he can't complete it because it's either not translated or not available. Alexa is in Serbia. Here's here's Elric with the black sword. Anybody who knows Elric knows of his sword. The sword that is a soul-eating sword. It actually makes Elric an evil person because of what he has to do. He feeds off the souls of others through his sword, and the sword and him have a kind of relationship, right? Um, kind of a love-hate relationship. But you see, I mean, there's it's all this 80s the way that it's done, the way that it's laid out is so 80s graphic novels. It's cool as hell. And I got it for next to nothing. So I'm like, well, I need to fix it. There's a part of the book block that is unstuck. It's maybe one comic long, you see? It's that long. That much of the book block is unstuck to the spine. So I need to get some glue. What I need is I need Mark Richardson. Mark Richardson, I need you to come on down here, and I need you to go ahead and show me, give me a clinic on book repair. I'm gonna need you to do that for me. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, you'll have to finish it in English, Alexa. Can't do anything about it now. Yeah. So there's a lot of Elric books. I don't know exactly how many. There's at least like 12 or 14, right? So I really did enjoy the uh the first six even more than the rest, that's for sure. Um is everybody see me okay? Yeah, I don't enjoy any of his characters as much as I enjoy Elric either, Jack. I'm totally with that. Can everybody see me okay? I'm not like stuck on your screen or anything, right? Because in my on my recording uh phone there, I'm stuck. But I don't need that. You know what I mean? I don't care. Um on my computer, I'm still moving, everything cool. And so it seems like everything's fine. But if I don't get a response pretty soon, then I'm gonna have to check it out. Yeah, I'm moving. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Thank you. You can see my beautiful self perfectly. Juan, stop! Just stop. It's Friday night. Okay, it's Friday night. Anything can happen. Okay? Anything can happen, baby. I usually go for an hour, but I don't have to just do an hour. I can do anything I want. Stormbringer. Yeah, that's right. Um, I think, was it Hawkwind? Hawkwind did like a whole Elric album, an album on Elric. I think that's right. I can't really remember. It's been so long. Yes. Very cool, Greg. Yeah. People love some people love some I have loads of books on my table. Not really. I mean, I have quite a bit, but you know me. I mean, I grab out a bunch of books that I want to show, and then I end up, talking and hanging out with y'all. I don't ever show everything that I've pulled out. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so I'm glad I remembered that. Oh, right. But I will show because I picked up a couple of, and I figured I'd show the lovely ladies. Um, I'll show the lovely ladies because we've already talked some Le Guin and things like that. And actually, I found another Gene Wolfe, and I'm not familiar with this one at all. It's another one that is combining multiple volumes into one binding, but it's still not the whole story. I don't know how Gene Wolfe is doing this, but it's called The Knight, and then there's one called The Wizard. This is book one of The Wizard Knight. So then he's got, one volume called The Knight, volume called The Wizard, I guess. Um, this seems like full on fantasy. It doesn't seem as dark as, the Book of the New Sun, things like that. But Gaiman says on the back, Gene Wolfe is the smartest, subtlest, most dangerous writer alive today in the genre or out of it. This book is important and wonderful. So I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but I'm just on the hunt and look for some Gene Wolfe when I'm in bookstores, used bookstores, and sometimes I find them. You know, people don't know what people don't know who Gene Wolfe is. So Gene Wolfe, I'll find just like, discarded over there. Nice. So, have we have little illustrations at the beginning of every chapter. It's pretty cool, and it seems cool. You know, it seems like a cool series. So, when I get into Gene Wolfe, I'll be doing a dive. I have Free Live Free. I still have very cool, Alexa. Very cool. I love Blue Oyster Cult. Astronomy. Astronomy all the way. Very cool. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, thank you. And so I'm looking forward to it. I do like fantasy. Um as long as there's some substance to it. I don't like fantasy that's just like full on quest narrative or, journey narrative that the fun is how witty the characters are and who's got it for who else, that kind of stuff, and it's just some drama. I'm not with any of that stuff. I love ideas in my fiction, and if it's got good ideas, then I don't care what genre or what type of fiction it's embedded in, right? Right. The insane one that has a perfect memory. Is that the narrator you're talking about? Nice. Very cool. Dang, man. So yeah, that's why I pulled that out and I figured I'd show that the night of this time because I had got that the new Atlantis there that has another Gene Wolfe short story in it. But I also was at the this was in the clearance section at a half price books. I always half price books. No, not half price books. Sorry. This was in the collection, the clearance section of a Second and Charles. So Second and Charles is a huge chain that moves through a whole lot of books, like a whole lot of books, and does it by I'm sure they just clearance out books and sell them and get rid of them. So I'll go and look at shelves. I will, and I'll scan their shelves and see what they got. But then I will go and scan every single clearance shelf and see everything that they got over there on clearance because nine times out of ten I just walk out of there with two or three clearance books. I don't even buy a new book, or they're not, none of them are new, but I don't even buy a used book full price. I will just go for the clearance. I mean, it blows my mind how cheap people do books now. And like they don't care. But I got Gene Rice collected short stories. This is all of Gene Rice short stories in one collection. There's even a couple here that were not collected in previous volumes. Kismet, Invitation to the Dance, and The Whistling Bird. Gene Rice wrote Wide Sargasso Sea, which is an awesome book. And there's a lot of emotion and passion, um, feeling in Gene Rice. I don't have a lot of experience, but that's why I got this because there is a huge amount of short stories in this book. Boom and boom, right? So we have 2 pages of the table of contents, and the book is 400 pages long. So I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to just kind of check it out and see. Gene Rice is obviously a very, very good writer. Passed in late 70s, early 80s. I forget when. Maybe I forget when. Um, but I had grabbed it because why not, right? And then I got Annie Lamott, Bird by Bird. This is instructions on writing and life. And I love books on writing if they're done well, and books on a process of life and understanding life, looking at life, but then translating that to a story, to storytelling. And this seemed right up my alley. Uh, on the back it says, "Superb writing advice. It's hilarious, helpful, and provocative. Um, a hilarious guide through the writer's world and its treacherous swamps." So, um, I'm down for it. Always down for some good books on writing. Some of my favorite, a couple of my favorite are Stephen King's, of course, and also Borges. And I got the two queens here. I have an essay, a long essay from Sontag, Susan Sontag, called "Regarding the Pain of Others." And I didn't know anything about this, so I just uh, had seen it, and then the back really got me. So I'll go ahead and give that to you. One of the distinguishing figures of the modern life is that it supplies countless opportunities for regarding at a dense distance through the medium of photography horrors taking place throughout the world. Images of atrocities have become something of a commonplace. But are viewers inured or incited to violence by the depiction of cruelty? Is the viewer's perception of reality eroded by the daily barrage of such images? What does it mean to care about the sufferings of others far away? In regarding the pain of others, Susan Sontag takes a fresh look at the present representation of atrocity. From Goya's The Disasters of War to photographic documents of the American Civil War, lynchings of blacks in the South and the Nazi death camps, to contemporary horrific images of Bosnia, Sierra Leone, Rwanda, and New York City on September 11th. More than 20 years after her now classic book on photography changed how we understand the very condition of being modern, regarding the pain of others challenges our thinking not only to about the uses and meanings of images, but how war itself is waged and understood in our time. The limits of sympathy and the obligation of 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 conscience. So I was all about it. I'm glad y'all like it for sure. It is an unsettling cover, Lady Jane. I think it's meant to be unsettling. Am I right? For sure. I can't wait to. I've got some more Sontag. One I picked up just because I found it very cheap. It's called America, and I'm not gonna start with that one. There's another Sontag that I have that I want to read first, but I might just read this one first because I mean I'll crush it, and it seems to be very much worth the read. Am I right? So I'm excited about it. That kind of thing to just really get your mind going, really get you thinking while you are listening and reading. I have not read on photography. I When it comes down to it, Sontag is somebody that I haven't got into before, but you just hear how much people love her, and she's smart as hell. Like she's smart as hell. And so is this next one. These really smart essayists, and I can't wait. And it's Joan Didion's Slouching Towards Bethlehem. I've never read it. I've never read any Joan Didion, which is crazy because she's loved, much loved, and in the kind of circles in with readers that read things that I love. So, but this says a rich display of some of the best prose written today in the country. This kind of thing. So I couldn't pass it up when I saw a copy going out on clearance of Slouching Towards Bethlehem. So I grabbed it. because it's just time, you know. I got a year of magical thinking on my shelves. I haven't read it. It's just something that I wanted to read, and I just still want to read it for sure. But um this year was not the year. This year was not the year for smaller books. All of the small kinds of books that I'm showing, you're going to see me reading them next year, because my year 2021 was doing these big books, and I didn't have time. Really just didn't have time to knock out little books and then stay on pace with the big books. So I'm glad I did what I did, because I've got a lot of big books off of my TBR and done. But next year I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going for big books. Maybe at all. I have a project that I want to do, and that's what I'm gonna do. And then other than that, I'll be reading short works. And I mean anything under 300 pages. But I mean, even if it's more, I mean, as it just depends on the format, especially if it's something like, I mean, I'm probably gonna read Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun, because I got that for my birthday from my mother. And I got all the whole series of Book of the New Sun. So I'm gonna read it all. It's a big book. I mean, that is probably 700 to 800 pages, but it's four books. I could read. I can read them at my pace. I can read them when I want. That's what I'm going to. That's how I'm what I'm gonna do next year. Just kind of grab these little books and read them as I want. Nothing's gonna take me more than a week. If I do a series like that, something longer, then I'm not gonna be militant about it. I'm gonna space it out. I'm gonna do it however I feel. I'm gonna be more focused on my project. Sorry about that. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I might have to get it first, Juan. Thank you very much for that. I might have to get on photography first and read it. Um, yep. You know, when it comes down to it, I'm really big on author intent. So I don't want to go, if I'm reading regarding the pain of others, and there's reference to on photography and something that was said in a way that I feel like, I should have read it first, then I'm gonna go read it first. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna read that first. So I might as well just get it and read it first for sure. Nice. I have some Browdigan on my very cool. Very cool, Quentin. I really appreciate that. Scott Bradfield is the man. I love Bradfield, and he always turns me on to good stuff. Uh, s- it's awesome. So I will definitely be jumping into some Browdigan. I have something. It's a mystery, kind of weird mystery looking novel by him, something like a parrot or something. And then I have In Watermelon Sugar, for sure. I have that on the shelf. I might have another Brautigan as well, but I might only have those two. But I'll do both of those next year for sure. I can't wait, because I like some weird stuff. I like trippy stuff. I like experimental stuff. You guys know that. If you're watching my channel, then you know I like some experimental work. I like authors that just go for whatever they want. Nice. Very cool, man. Get me excited, Juan. Stop. Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to read Bridge Over the Drina. I can't wait to read it, Alexa. It's sitting, that one's sitting out on my shelf still right here. It's not going away. It's not going away until, that was Conference of the Birds, sorry. Conference of the Birds is not going away until I read it. That's Jack Rambling Raconteur suggested that one. Hey, Sarah. Sarah MG Reads. Long time no see. Thanks for coming by. Happy Friday. And ooh, let's make it a buddy read, bro. Bridge on the Drina. This one is not leaving my shelf until I read it. I mean, my shelf in here. You know, it's right when I got it. There's too many people that just love this book and are like, yeah, one of my favorites of all time. So I'm gonna do it, and let's buddy read it for sure. That'll be great, man. Even though, honestly, you and I have buddy read just by virtue of reading at the same time quite a bit. But I would love to talk to you about a book while we read it and do a proper buddy read because I love exploring books, and I think that you could definitely give me some insight uh as to what it is, that I'm experiencing that I wouldn't get on my own. So I love it. Thank you very much, y'all. Thank you very much, BookTube. We're over an hour, so I'm gonna call it. This was really, really cool. Thank you for hanging out with me on a Black Friday. It looks like who I got hanging out with me Friday night here as all the people shopping online, and I commend you. I'm not a big shopper except for books. I'm not a big shopper, I'm not a great gift giver, to tell you the truth. I find it tough to personalize what I want to give somebody and make it meaningful and really do a good job with it. It's just part of my thing. So I'm gonna try to do better this year. It takes planning. That's what it is. As I'm not a great planner, I'm more of a, you know, I will plan out a little bit, but once I have a little bit of a plan, I'm like, I'm good. Let's go. And I just wing it and I just go at what I need to do. And so I need to change that up because I feel like I do want to be a better gift giver to people that I care about in my life. And there's a lot of people that I do care about. And y'all are some of them too. Thank you very much, BookTube. Y'all are great. Thank you for making Friday nights so awesome, always so much fun. Thank you everybody who came by, and all the content creators and all the commenters and people that just hang with me and really support a core support for my channel. And I'm loving all your videos. Greg, man, I'm loving your content, brother. I love your book room, brother. It's ridiculous. So there's just so much good stuff out there. So many good people hanging out. And Friday night, my channel is a great place to meet them. So thank you very much, BookTube. I'll catch you on the next one.